Good morning, students. In the last class, we have completed the potential energy due to a magnetic dipole. We have got the equation, two equations, one for the two angles, another one for single angle. U equals to minus mb cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1. This is one equation. Another equation for the single angle, U equals to minus mb cos theta. Then after this, we come across current carrying solenoid is act as a equivalent bar magnet. Already we have studied in the solenoid. Current carrying solenoid is act as a bar magnet, but we have to be sure that here the current carrying solenoid is equivalent to a bar magnet. So I take the solenoid. Now this is the solenoid, a straight conductor wound on a cylindrical base, and it acts as a solenoid whose length is greater than its radius. Now this is the length of the solenoid. The current is passed through it. I is the current through the solenoid. Now this is the direction of the current in the solenoid. One face of the solenoid acts as a south pole, another one is acting as a north pole, here clockwise. This is act as a south and this is act as a north. Hence we can say that current carrying solenoid act as a bar magnet. We have to prove it. So now this is clockwise. Each turn of the solenoid act as a tiny magnet. Each turn of the solenoid act as a tiny magnet. Now this is nothing but clockwise. So, right? This is nothing but this turn is act as a tiny magnet. So south, clockwise south, and this is north. And this turn is also acting as a tiny magnet. South, north. This turn acts as a tiny magnet. South, north. This turn acts as a tiny magnet. South, north. There is a force of attraction between the opposite kinds of the poles. When I join them togetherly, there is a formation of single magnet. All the tiny magnets are joined together. Now this is nothing but the south pole. This is nothing but the north pole. Now this is nothing but a current carrying solenoid act as a bar magnet. Each turn of the solenoid act as a tiny bar magnet. Hence the number of tiny bar magnets that produces what? Single magnet. So one face is south, another one is acting as a north. Now this is nothing but current carrying solenoid act as a bar magnet. Then what is the difference between the current carrying solenoid and our bar magnet? So we know that the magnetic field at the end of the solenoid B equals to mu naught Ni by 2. But here the magnetic field is maximum at the center, mu naught Ni. The magnetic field is maximum at the center of the solenoid and minimum at the ends. It is half of the magnetic field produced at the center. But in the case of bar magnet, the field is maximum at the ends and the minimum at the center. It is the reverse of what? Solenoid. The magnetic field is maximum at the ends and minimum at the center of a bar magnet. But in the case of solenoid, the magnetic field is maximum at the center, that is mu naught Ni, and the magnetic field is maximum at the center and minimum at the ends, that is half of the magnetic field produced at the center. Here the number of turns, that is nothing but here small n is equal to number of turns per unit length. Now this is about what? The current carrying solenoid act as a bar magnet. Every turn of the solenoid is acting as a tiny bar magnet. The number of turns comprised gives what? The bar magnet. One face is acting as a south, another one is acting as a north. Then after this, once again we are going to come across Gauss law. Gauss law in magnetism. Already we have studied the Gauss law in electrostatics. Once again, we are introducing the same person in magnetism. Gauss law. Law in magnetism. This Gauss law related to what? Magnetic flux. That magnetic flux is nothing but number of magnetic lines of forces passing through a given surface normally. That gives the magnetic flux. Magnetic flux is represented by phi. To confirm magnetic, it is related to the magnetic field, hence phi b. It is measured in terms of what? Weber. Then what is the importance of Gauss law in magnetism? Then what it concludes? According to Gauss law in magnetism, or Gauss law in magnetism states that, he gave the statement, the magnetic flux through any closed surface is equals to 0. What is the conclusion? What is the statement? The Gauss law in magnetism states that the net magnetic flux or the total magnetic flux through any closed surface is equals to 0. The net magnetic flux through any closed surface is equals to 0. Now this is the statement. And it can be also stated as, for closed surface, shall I take line integral? The surface integral of magnetic field through any closed surface is equals to 0. So these are the vector quantities. The surface integral of magnetic field through any closed surface is equals to 0. That is nothing but the magnetic flux through any closed surface is equals to 0. That is nothing but phi b. So if I take the small surface, then it is nothing but integration. Actually, the magnetic field equals to flux per unit area. So phi equals to b into a. A is nothing but sum of ds. That sum of ds is nothing but what? The closed surface, that is nothing but line integral of magnetic field through any closed surface is equals to 0. Then that indicates what? The magnetic flux through any closed surface is equals to 0. Then what is the importance of this Gauss law in magnetism? If I take any closed surface, now these are the magnetic lines of forces. These are magnetic lines of forces. According to the Gauss theorem, the magnetic flux through any closed surface is equals to 0. It means that there will be no source or sink of magnetic lines of force. There will be no any source or the sink of what? Magnetic flux. It means that there will be no existence of isolated pole. In the magnetism, never be existed. That is the main conclusion of what? Gauss law in magnetism. Always the magnetic poles are existed in the form of pairs. So there will be no existence of isolated pole in the magnetism. That is the conclusion of what? Gauss law in magnetism. From this figure, whatever the magnetic lines of forces are entering the surface, almost all the magnetic lines of forces are emerging out from the surface. Hence, the total flux enclosed by the surface is 0. Whatever the magnetic lines of forces are enter the surface, almost all the magnetic lines of forces are emerged out from the surface. Hence, no magnetic flux is available in the closed surface. Hence, the total magnetic flux through a closed surface is equals to 0. Now, this is our what? The Gauss law in magnetism. Its main conclusion is there will be no existence of what? Isolated pole. Always the magnetic poles are existed in the form of pair. That should be concluded by using Gauss law in magnetism. What is that? the magnetic flux through any closed surface is equals to 0, or surface integral of magnetic field through over a closed surface is equals to 0. Is it clear? Yes. Then there is a similarity between electrostatics and magnetostatics. We can say that magnetism. What are those similarities? Whatever the equations we have remembered in the electrostatics, almost all the equations are going to be obtained in the magnetism. Only there is a what? Changing of terminologies. Electrostatics and in magnetism. So in electrostatics we are going to be called the dipole moment P. Here the magnetic dipole moment M. Constant 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Here the constant mu naught divided by 4 pi. In electrostatics, the torque tau equals to Pe sin theta. In magnetism, the torque tau equals to P is nothing but magnetic dipole moment M B sin theta. Potential energy U equals to minus Pe cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1. This is one equation. U equals to minus Pe cos theta. Here the potential energy U equals to minus Mb cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1. For single angle, minus Mb cos theta. The electric dipole moment is replaced by magnetic dipole moment. The electric field is replaced by magnetic field. So if you remember the either of the one equation, you can easily go for what? The magnetism equations. So one more equations we have studied. The electric field on the axial line 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p by d cube. So magnetic field on the axial line, so mu naught divided by 4 pi 2m by d cube. Yes, P is replaced by what? Magnetic dipole moment. Distance constant 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. This is mu naught divided by 4 pi. There is a similarity. Because of that reason, we have earlier told that it is a bonus topic for you. Right? Already we have done these equations. So, if you remember the electrostatic equation, we go for what? Magnetism equations. That is, we can call it magnetostatics. Is it clear? Yes. Then after this, we come across Earth's magnetism. निकाल दो इसे, एक बार देख लो. Then I come across Earth's magnetism. Shall I remove this one? Yes. Earth's magnetism. Earth's magnetism. According to William Gilbert, Earth is a huge magnet. The Earth possesses the magnetic field because of deposition of Fe3O4 in the core of the Earth. Because of this magnetic oxide of iron Fe3O4 in the core of the Earth possesses what? The magnetic field. Hence the Earth acts as a huge magnet. One more concept, the Earth is revolving around the Sun and also it rotates about its own axis. Due to the spinning action of the matter, it acts as a current loop. So, when it acts as a current loop, it possesses what? The magnetic dipole moment. The magnetic dipole moment M equals to I into A. Hence, Earth possesses the magnetic property. Hence, conclusion, according to William Gilbert, Earth acts as a huge magnet. The main reason for him he has given because of deposition of Fe3O4 magnetic oxide iron in the core of the earth. Then when you come across the earth is acting as a huge magnet, if I take the bar magnet and suspend it in the earth's magnetic field, it always shows north and south. When earth is acting as a huge magnet, it also possesses what? The poles, magnetic poles. The magnetic poles belongs to the earth is called geographic north pole and geographic south pole. The magnetic poles, the poles of the magnet are called magnetic poles, magnetic north and magnetic south. For the earth, it is belongs to the earth, hence it is called geographic north and geographic south. When the bar magnet is suspended, it always comes to the north and south direction. It means that the south pole of the bar magnet is towards the north of what? Earth. Hence there is a force of attraction. So if I take the suspension of the bar magnet in the earth's magnetic field, it always comes to the north and south. Right? Then, to determine the earth's magnetic field, we have got the magnetic elements. Magnetic elements are those which determines the earth's magnetic field at any place. To determine the earth's magnetic field at any place, I need what? Magnetic elements. Then what are those magnetic elements? The magnetic elements are, first one is magnetic declination, that is represented by delta. Second one is magnetic dip or magnetic inclination. Third one is Earth's horizontal component, and fourth one is Earth's vertical component. And two more things, one is the magnetic meridian, another one is geographic meridian. Then after that we establish the relationship between what? Magnetic elements. So when the earth is acting as a huge magnet, because of deposition of the Fe3O4 in the core of the earth, it acts as a huge magnet. To determine the earth's magnetic field, we need magnetic elements. Magnetic elements. Magnetic elements are those which determines earth's magnetic field at any place. So for this magnetic elements, I come across the suspension of the bar magnet. When the bar magnet is suspended, it always points towards north and south. Now this is a bar magnet suspended. It shows north and south. North is towards the south of what? Earth. This is the south pole, belongs to earth, geographic south. This is the north pole, belongs to earth, geographic north. Now these are the magnetic poles, suspended bar magnet. If I draw the plane which is passing through the north and south of a suspended bar magnet, now this is the plane which contains the north and south of a suspended bar magnet. Now this plane is called magnetic meridian. Magnetic meridian. The vertical plane passing through the north and south of a suspended bar magnet is known as magnetic meridian. Now this is the vertical plane which contains the line joining of the north and south of a earth. Now this is a plane containing the line joining of a north and south of earth, is known as geographic meridian. Is known as geographic meridian. This is called geographic meridian. Geographic meridian. Geographic meridian. Meridian is nothing but the plane here. What are the two meridians? One is the magnetic meridian, another one is geographic meridian. First, initially I suspend the bar magnet, it shows north and south. the north of the suspended bar magnet is towards the south of the earth, and south of the bar magnet is towards the north of the earth. There is a force of attraction, hence it always shows the direction north and south. That is called directive property of the magnet. If I take the plane passing through the north and south of a suspended bar magnet, then it is called magnetic meridian. If I take the plane, the line joining of the north and south of a earth, and that plane is called geographic meridian. Then I take, this is a common line. I cut this much of the portion. One is the geographic meridian, another one is magnetic meridian. I cut this. This is a common line, right? Now this is the magnetic meridian. This is magnetic meridian. This is geographic meridian. Geographic meridian. I made the separate. Right? Then I come across the magnetic elements. The angle between the geographic meridian and the magnetic meridian is magnetic declination delta. The angle between the geographic meridian and magnetic meridian gives the magnetic declination delta. When the earth is acting as a huge magnet, it has got the resultant magnetic field of the earth B. And it is resolved into two components. One is the horizontal component, that is called BH. Another one is called vertical component BV. Then I make the angle between the earth's resultant magnetic field and its horizontal component in the magnetic meridian, that is called magnetic inclination theta or magnetic dip. The angle between Earth's resultant magnetic field and its horizontal component in the magnetic meridian, that angle is called angle of inclination or magnetic dip. Right? These are the two components. One is the horizontal component, another one is vertical component, and B is Earth's resultant magnetic field. The angle between the Earth's resultant magnetic field and its horizontal component in the magnetic meridian is known as magnetic inclination or magnetic dip, that is theta. Now these are the Earth's magnetic element. Magnetic inclination, magnetic declination delta, magnetic inclination theta, Earth's horizontal component BH, Earth's vertical component BV. The component of the resultant magnetic field drawn in the horizontal in the magnetic meridian, that is called BH. The vertical component of B is called BV. Now these are the magnetic elements. पूरी फिगर आपके सामने है, देखो. Right? And I want to establish the relationship between the magnetic elements. अब इतना ही फिगर मैं separate ले लेता हूँ मैं. I take this much figure separate. निकाल दूँ इससे? Yes. I take the separate figure. वो जो फिगर है ना, उसी फिगर को separate ले लेता हूँ मैं. Now this is a resultant magnetic field B, and this is BH, and this is BV. This is theta. I call P, Q, R, S. Right? Then I take either of the triangle. निकाल दो इससे. In triangle, relation between magnetic elements. यहाँ लिखूँ मैं. Relation between magnetic elements. Magnetic elements. सही है? Right. In triangle PQR, shall I take sin theta? Sin theta equals to opposite side QR, hypotenuse PR. So opposite sides are equal. This is also BV. Vertical component BV equals to B sin theta. Right? This is first. Also, cos theta equals to adjacent side PQ divided by hypotenuse PR. BH by B. BH equals to B cos theta. Right? Then third one. This is second. Shall I go for third? 3. Tan theta equals to opposite side by adjacent side QR divided by PQ BV by BH. Then theta equals to tan inverse BV by BH. We can determine the angle of inclination, that is magnetic dip. Then I want to have the resultant magnetic field from figure. If I apply the Pythagoras theorem, PR square is equals to PQ square plus QR square, right? B square equals to BH square plus BV square. B equals to under root of BH square plus BV square. This is the resultant magnetic field of the earth. Now these are the magnetic elements and the relation between them. So BV equals to B sin theta, BH equals to B cos theta, theta equals to tan inverse BV by BH. The resultant magnetic field B equals to BH square plus BV square. एक बार पूरा देख लो. Then I come across the last thing of the topic, neutral point. एक बार देख लो पूरे equations. Shall I go for the neutral point? Yes. I go for neutral point. Last thing of the topic. Last thing of the topic, neutral point. I go for neutral point. What is that neutral point? Then what is the importance of the neutral point? Why we need the neutral point? So when you are going to come across the magnet, the price of the magnet in the market depends on its strength, depends on its pole strength. How extent the magnet is strong, that determines its pole strength. The strength of the magnet, that is pole strength of the magnet, is determined with the help of what? Neutral point. So to calculate the pole strength of the magnet, I need what? The magnetic dipole moment, capital M. To determine this magnetic dipole moment, capital M, we take the help of what? Help of neutral point. What is that neutral point? neutral point. When you take the magnet, it gives what? Its magnetic field. And it is placed in the earth. Earth possesses its magnetic field. The magnetic field of the earth is considered to be here, BH. Horizontal component of what? The magnetic field of the earth, BH. There are the two fields. One is the magnetic field produced by the magnet. Another one is it is placed in the earth, on the surface of the earth. Earth possesses the magnetic field. That magnetic field of the earth is taken to be here, the horizontal component, BH. Then what is that neutral point? Neutral point is that point where the magnetic field produced by the magnet is completely neutralized by Earth's horizontal component BH, and that point is called neutral point. Or the neutral point is the point near the magnet where the magnetic field produced by the magnet, bar magnet, is completely neutralized by the horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field BH, and that point near the magnet is called neutral point. Then how to locate the neutral point? At the neutral point, the net torque experienced by the compass needle, which is used for the testing, for the confirmation of what neutral point, is not zero. The compass needle shows the deflection other than north and south. Then that point is considered to be a neutral point. Usually the compass needle shows north and south. When the magnetic field produced by the bar magnet is completely neutralized by the Earth's horizontal component BH, then at that point, at the neutral point, the no net torque is experienced by the needle. Hence it shows a deflection somewhere else. And that point is confirmed as a existence of the neutral point. So, the methods to locate the neutral point. Methods to locate neutral point. The main aim of the neutral point is to find the pole strength. To have the pole strength, I need what? Magnetic dipole moment M. To have the magnetic dipole moment, I take the help of what? Neutral point. Neutral point is that point where the magnetic field produced by the bar magnet is completely neutralized by the Earth's horizontal component BH. At the neutral point, the compass needle shows the deflection other than north and south, somewhere else, where the no net torque, there will be a net torque experienced by the compass needle by both the fields is not zero. Then I want to locate the neutral point. Now this is the north, south, east, west belongs to Earth. Then I place the magnet, first one, north pole towards north of the Earth, north pole towards north of Earth. Then what is the position of the neutral point? Now this is the north pole of the bar magnet. North pole of the bar magnet towards the north of the Earth. North pole of the bar magnet towards north of the Earth. Now these are the magnetic lines of forces, non-uniform. Magnetic lines of forces are originated from north and terminates on south, originated from north. Now this is the Earth's magnetic field, BH factor. The magnetic lines of forces are originated from north and terminates on south. I make it short. Center, this is south. The magnetic lines of forces are originated from north and terminates on south. These are the magnetic lines of forces produced by what? The magnet. Right. If I take the compass needle and goes on placing this position, again it shows north and south. This position again north and south. Now this is the point from the center of the magnet where the neutral point is located, N1 position. This side also neutral position, N2, the distance between them, L, or you can say it D. The two neutral points are available at a distance of 2D. Either side from the center D and another side from the center D. So this is the axis of the dipole. Now this is the equatorial line. The magnetic lines, the neutral points are available on the equatorial line of a bar magnet. The magnetic field, the neutral points are available on the equatorial line of a bar magnet at a distance D from the center. Hence, according to the definition, the magnetic field due to a bar magnet, that is on the equatorial line, balanced by Earth's horizontal component, completely neutralized by Earth's horizontal component BH, then mu naught divided by 4 pi m by d cube is equals to BH. I need what? M. So m equals to BH into d cube divided by mu naught divided by 4 pi. Now this is nothing but the magnetic dipole moment of a bar magnet. When the north pole is kept towards the north of the earth, the neutral points are available on the equatorial line of the bar magnet. According to the neutral point concept, the magnetic field due to a bar magnet is completely neutralized by Earth's horizontal component, that is balanced by BH. Mu naught divided by 4 pi m by d cube, that is magnetic field on the equatorial line, is equals to BH. I need magnetic dipole moment m, then cross multiplication mu naught divided by 4 pi. Hence, we can determine the magnetic dipole moment m of a bar magnet. From this, we can calculate small m. Capital M equals to m into 2L. We know that 2L, 5 by 6 of geometrical length. We can then from this equation, we can determine the pole strength of a magnet. Then another method, second method, south pole towards the north of the earth. Now this is a constant. We can change the position of the magnet. We cannot change the position of what? North and south of the earth. This is fixed. These lines are fixed. Magnetic lines of forces are originated from north and terminates on south. I shift. I take south pole is towards north of the earth. South pole is towards north of the earth. Center of the magnetic lines of forces. The magnetic lines of forces are originated from north and terminates on south. Originated from north, terminates on south. Again, if I goes on placing the compass needle, then at a certain points it shows somewhere else other than north and south. I place here, again it shows north and south. I place here, again it shows north and south. Now these are the points from the center at a distance D, where the neutral point is available. This is N1 and this is N2. Where the neutral points are available on the axis, that is on the axial line. On the axial line. Earlier, not towards the north of the earth, equatorial line. Equation is there. Now here on the axial line. 2m, right? So multiplied by 2. Now this is our मैग्नेटिक डाइपोल मोमेंट. एक बार पूरा देख लो, सिंपल है, कुछ भी नहीं, राइट. एक बार पूरा कंप्लीट देख लो, देन वी कम अक्रॉस दैट. कुछ भी नहीं है, सिंपल है. When the north pole is towards north of the earth, the neutral points positions are on the equatorial line. When the south pole is towards the north of the earth, the position of the neutral points are on the axial line. Then the magnetic field on the axial line is balanced by Earth's horizontal component BH, then 2m by d cube. Already we have proved this one. So I need magnetic dipole momentum, shift the necessary terms. With the help of this neutral point concept, we can calculate, we can determine the magnetic dipole moment of a bar magnet capital M. Right? This makes what the end of magnetism, and then I come across next part of the topic, magnetism and matter. I come across magnetic matter. Right? जितना हो सके उतना सिंपल करे सो है. Now this is the topic, end of what? Magnetism. Next we come across what? Magnetic materials. That is magnetic matter. Is it clear? Shall I continue with the next class? Magnetic materials? Yes. I hope that you have understood the things. Thank you. Let me continue in the next class.